Hello and welcome to Gymnastics Victoria. I'm Sally Ann Young. Today on the show, we'll be talking with head coach of Loreto Toorak, Kerryn Cormick, on the recent 2011 Aerobics Victorian Championships. Also, we'll be speaking to Keeley Reade, who will give us some insight into the ever-growing and popular sport of cheerleading. Come on, let's get to it. Many of you may think gymnastics only includes men's and women's gymnastics, but it also includes rhythmic gymnastics, sports aerobics, trampolining, acrobatic gymnastics and cheerleading. Today, we're at Loreto Toorak speaking with Kerryn Cormick on aerobics and her involvement with the August 2011 Aerobic Victorian Championships. Come on! Hi Kerryn, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks Sally, thanks for having me.
So we're just wondering how you got involved in gymnastics and what your involvement is with Gymnastics Victoria.
Well, I started off doing gymnastics as a child, and then when I went to uni I actually studied a PE degree, and about halfway through the degree I decided I didn't want to be a phys ed teacher and I wanted to pursue my passion in gymnastics and what was becoming very popular, sports aerobics. And I started my own gymnastics club and sport aerobics program. And I basically finished PE and started coaching at all different schools doing aerobics. Well, back then, about 15 years ago, it was just taking off and lots of kids from different schools were getting together and performing in large teams of about 6 to 8 doing an aerobics routine. And PE teachers and classroom teachers weren't really keen to run it themselves because of the lack of knowledge. So I would go in from school to school and put the teams together and get them to perform their aerobics routines at the local events and the state gymnastics championships.
So I've seen that one of your Loreto girls, Olivia, was in the state championships. Can you just run me through her routine?
Yes, Olivia is in the National B section, and basically they make up their own routine in conjunction with their coach. Now Olivia would have had the 3 compulsory moves in her routine, which are 4 jumping jacks, 4 high leg kicks and 4 push-ups. Other than that, she's allowed up to 8 skills, any skills she likes, but only of a certain value. So she can't actually do skills that are too difficult. So you'll see some of the skills that she's doing through her routine, different types of push-ups. She does a press at the beginning of her routine and holds that. And the rest of the routine is made up of choreography and transitions. And transitions are some of the funky things that the girls do in and out of their skills. So the way they roll around on the floor to get from move to move, just to make the routine flow.
So how long has aerobics been around for?
Aerobics started back in the 1970s and 1980s, and it was a big fitness industry boom. So basically the local aerobic instructor or personal trainer at the gym would get together with a couple of friends and do a team, and they would do things like one-arm push-ups, probably jumping up into the air and doing a straddle jump and landing in a push-up, and all the people from the gym would come and support their fellow personal trainers and aerobic instructors at the competitions. And about 1997, it made a big shift, and gymnastics came in and basically said, we'll govern the sport and take it that little bit further and try and get it to an Olympic event. So for the last 14 years, we've been heading towards working on going to the Olympics. And now you'll find that instead of the one-arm push-up that we saw 15 or 20 years ago, we'll see a lot of skills being performed that are much harder. So let's say we've now got gymnasts jumping up in the air, spinning around a couple of times and landing in a one-arm push-up rather than just doing the basic one-arm push-up on the floor. So the transition's been amazing over the last 15 to 20 years, purely because of the way gymnastics have come in and opened it up and offered it to all their athletes.
And how many members do you have?
In Victoria, we would probably have maybe 500 to 1,000 athletes doing aerobics. It's a very school-based sport. So, for example, the school that I'm at, Loreto Toorak, has probably 60 kids doing aerobics once or twice a week. And then you'd probably have maybe another 20 schools in Victoria that would do a similar thing. Overall, in Australia, you would have maybe 2,000 participants competing in aerobics.
So what is the average age, or are they all school-aged children?
Well, the beauty of sports aerobics is we start children off at age 6 and they progress through a levels program, and then once they've finished school they can actually continue on at a gymnastics club, or if the school offers a past students club. And I have athletes who are 24, 25 still competing.
Is the sport popular with men?
Well, we do have males involved, and what you'll find is when you go to a world championship level, I always see the men, they're the best ones in the sport because they've got the flexibility and the strength to get there, and they've just got that overall package. When the kids are growing up though, the males actually need a little bit more coordination than the girls.
So I noticed that the girls are really friendly in the medal presentation. Does that carry through the whole sport or the competition?
It actually is. The girls love the sport so much and they're so passionate. When they get up to do the medal presentations, I know within my club, I make it a really big thing right from the word go when they start in level 1, that when they get a result or a medal, that they shake hands or give the other people a hug.
So we've actually got Annabel Muttdon here today, who competed in the recent Victorian Aerobics Championships.
Yes, absolutely. Annabel's just won the international stream at the state championships, and we're really excited about that. She actually competed last week as well at the national championships, came 4th, and has been selected into the national squad to compete in international competitions next year. So really wrapped with all her success. And the difference between Annabel's routine and all the others is she doesn't have to do the 3 compulsories that we talked about before, and she can add 2 more harder skills into her routine. So the level when they get to the international stream is extremely difficult.
So Annabel, some of the moves look quite hard. How did you go about learning them?
Well, yeah, they are quite difficult, but I guess I just have the basic, well, I was a gymnast, so I have lots of the basics, and then as I just build up from them and learn harder ones and just remember the basics of them. So how about I go shoot some?
Yeah.
All right, we'll just do some basic choreography.
Cool.
Yeah, that's really good.
Oh, I think I'll leave it to the experts though. Up next, we'll speak to Keeley Reade on the popular sport of cheerleading. And later on, we'll speak to one of cheerleading's up-and-coming stars on what it takes to be an athlete in this sport.